VIP guests at the House of Flames, the large Harley dealer in Eastern Munich. A delegation from Milwaukee, the home of Harley Davidson, is in southern Germany for the Hamburg Harley Days. The House of Flames is the ideal backdrop for motorcycles to meet with the VIP Harley visitors.
It's a cool place. Loud rock music plays all day long. You can see countless bikes, new machines, but also beautifully customized bikes and old-timers. It is a paradise on earth for anyone who has an interest in V2 engines. Amazingly, you can meet the big boss from Harley Davidson worldwide here.
The myth of Harley is undisputed. But what could be more exciting than to find out personally from the company boss where the journey for the traditional motorcycle brand will go in the next few years? Matt Levertich is the boss of over $6 billion in annual sales.
Well, Harley has an incredibly unique position in the marketplace as a motorcycle brand as well as a brand entirely. It's one of the most well-known brands in the world, and the company is doing business in over 90 countries. And one of the most fascinating things about my work with Harley Davidson is when I get to see it in different countries around the world and how powerful the brand is to the customers, and also how unique it is in their life, but how that uniqueness is the same from person to person in every country in the world. This idea that the brand stands for freedom.
So that bikers continue to think of Harley when they hear the word freedom, the traditional brand continues to develop its products. The boss gets his best ideas, of course, in the saddle of a Harley.
I love to ride my Harley, and I do the best thinking that I ever do in my life when I'm riding. There's a rhythm to the ride that puts me in a certain place to be able to do really good thinking.
It is particularly exciting to know what kind of bike the Harley boss himself rides.
Well, I have three Harley Davidson motorcycles, and they have different personalities. I have what's called a Road Glide Ultra, and it is the bike that I use when I ride with my wife and we go on longer distance rides. I have a Softail Slim, which is kind of a stripped down, cruising bike for more, city riding. And then the bike that I have that I really love the most probably is a bike that we no longer make, but it's called the XR 1200X. And it's the bike that I ride when I want to go fast. So I walk into my garage in the morning and I let the bikes speak to me, and I pick the one that I want to ride that day. And I'm lucky to have that kind of choice and the opportunity to ride a motorcycle every day that suits my personality and my mood.
Harley Davidson has been in existence since 1903, making it the oldest motorcycle brand in the world. And soon, Harley will be electrifying in the truest sense of the word.
And we have this great history that we drew on for inspiration for what an electric Harley Davidson motorcycle would be and could be. And the engineers did a wonderful job of taking this, innovative technology, putting it in a product that was clearly a Harley Davidson motorcycle, and importantly, making an electric motorcycle that made a strong statement about how great an electric motorcycle could be and how great an electric Harley Davidson motorcycle could be. We were so excited about it that we really felt we needed to give people the opportunity to try it out and give us their feedback, and the feedback has been phenomenal. They love the product, they love the idea, they want one today. Why can't they buy it today? And then we've gotten some very useful feedback around their expectations for range. So we're really working closely with battery suppliers on energy density, so we can deliver the range and the power in the same weight and size. And that will take a few years more for that to come. And our goal is not to be the only motorcycle, electric motorcycle, or to be the first, but to be the best.
In just a few months, the people responsible at Harley have logged 12,000 test drives with the electrical live wire. The findings are directly reflected in the further development. Matt Levertich appreciates competition with other brands, especially as an inspiration to a standstill.
I love motorcycles, and I really do respect and appreciate what other companies do. I don't think that exists in many other industries anymore, the individual passion that people have for the product. And that leads to great ideas and great innovation. And you know, I get the opportunity in our development to ride everybody's products.
Finally, Levertich and his court move on to Hamburg for the Harley Days. And there, Europe's largest bike event awaits the boss of the cult brand. 50,000 Harleys and more than 500,000 visitors will be celebrating the great motorbike mythos from the USA for 3 days in the northern German metropolis. Those who can experience the successful lifestyle feeling of Harley Davidson at the Harley Days in Hamburg can also imagine that the legendary US brand will still command cult status at its 200-year anniversary. That only leaves one question. What does Matt Levertich think will characterize the future of Harleys in the year 2103? And what will make them stand out from the prevailing masses then?
What I think a motorcycle, a Harley Davidson, has to do always is really appeal to the emotion of the rider. And so what exactly the motorcycle will look like and whether it will float off the ground or fly through the air, I don't know. But it has to be something that speaks to the soul of the rider and this whole idea of freedom and independence and strength that is such a part of the brand.
Obviously, the V2 bikes from Milwaukee are thundering into an exciting future. Dubai. The Burj Khalifa, the tallest building in the world, presides over the 2.5 million populated city on the Persian Gulf. In the UAE, not only heat and drought prevail, but there is also a real biker's paradise to discover. And we do this for 2 days between Dubai and Oman with the new touring motorcycles from Harley Davidson. Journalists from around the world slip into the saddle of the travel steamer from Milwaukee. With their typical V2 engines, the big Harleys have set standards with regards to comfort on long journeys and pulling power since decades. Project Rushmore. Since 2013, this program has stood for more customer friendliness at Harley, and of which we will aim to convince ourselves during the 2 days in the Emirates. Whether operation, equipment, or technology, everything should be even better suited for the large motorcycle journey. Harleys are very popular here in Dubai, something like the ships of the desert on 2 wheels. On a winding mountain road through the amazing mountainous hinterland of Al Jazeera, we cruise up to the Jebel Ali Jais, a peak of almost 2,000 meters. While the riders take on water, it's worth taking a look at the new 2016 Ultra Limited. 50 years ago, the Electric Glide was the first Harley with an electric starter, hence the name of the series. And the variant Ultra Limited is today the queen of accessories, including heated grips and plenty of infotainment. The part water-cooled 1.7-liter V2 pushes confidently with massive torque. Saddlebags and top case hold 132 liters of luggage, enough for a trip for 2. The travel experience with Harley's Desert Ship will cost almost 30,000 euros. 414 kilograms unladen weight is huge, but quite manageable. On this trip between Dubai and Oman, Marcus Biebrich from the journal Motorcycle on the nostalgic Road King.
That was a fantastic experience, because I had imagined Dubai to be more or less a smooth desert. And I was very surprised that we experienced this dynamic pass here. And that was enormous fun. It was also quite high up, remarkably high up. Yeah, the Road King also feels amazingly good in this terrain, as it's apparently quite well balanced. And because as soon as one gets underway, one no longer feels the weight. Of course, it's an iron pile compared to a sport bike or enduro, but it can be very swiftly kicked into the corners. And everyone will enjoy that. But also when the road gets a bit curvy, and even if one rides straight, then you still have this highway effect or highway feeling. That you can have that here in the desert, that's worth it to experience it again.
When we finally get to go onwards after the dusty tracks in the border area, the reward in Oman awaits. Wonderful views and a perfectly paved coastal road. A fresh sea breeze here always makes for particularly pleasant temperatures. Whether coastal road or desert, our scout, Claude Abry, originally from France, knows the Emirates very well, and there's always a pleasant pace. The former chef also drives a Harley Davidson privately and knows exactly why.
All the bikes are nice, but Harley are really special because you ride a Harley, you go everywhere in the world, people just are so friendly with you. It's a brand that creates something, a family spirit, a friendship together, and it's really link people together. It's so special because when you travel alone, you will never be alone when the country where you'll visit, because you'll have friends coming, they will see you a t-shirt Harley Davidson, a jacket Harley Davidson, and riding a bike Harley Davidson, and they will join you definitely. You will never be alone, definitely.
The LED dual headlight is called Daymaker and is true to its name with high luminance capability. Infotainment touchscreen and 100-watt amplifier shorten monotonous journeys. The twin-cam 103 engine of the Road Glide Ultra has water-cooled exhaust valves. Particularly in the desert, that brings thermal advantages and keeps the valves cool. Even the three-piece luggage compartment is generously proportioned with the flashy street cruiser and greatly improved in its operation. The appearance of the Road Glide Ultra is particularly influenced by the so-called shark's nose. When we arrive at the track east of the city Nazwa, the sky over the desert has again opened up wide. One either lets that spoil the mood, or one knows how to appreciate such rare spectacles.
Yesterday, during the night in Oman, I thought that it was unusual enough to have a hotel without alcohol, but it gets better. The desert here in Dubai has approximately 20 days of rain a year, and we caught one of them. It's pouring. It even hailed briefly, and now the roads are flooded. You need to think now how to get back to Dubai. We have another 120 kilometers in front of us. Nevertheless, I would recommend it, and it's a crazy experience for any biker.
The journalists take it with humor and at the same time test the weatherproof properties of the Harley coverings. The wet ride through the desert is an amazing spectacle. The driving conditions are good despite the weather escapades.
The road conditions are pretty good, but you have to know that you have a lot of sand on the road. And when it's rain like today, okay, the sand and the water give you something really slippery. But otherwise, the road conditions are just amazing. They really take care of the roads, and they spend a lot on road condition and taking care and cleaning. Yeah, it's good. When you have like 5 degrees, 3 degrees, 0 degrees in Europe, and you come in Dubai and you have 20 degrees, you just enjoy riding. And it's just amazing. I'm telling you, UAE in general and all the Emirates are fantastic to ride during winter. Dubai is the place to be.
So if Claude thinks bikers should experience Dubai at least once, we can only agree with him wholeheartedly.